I'm going to move this out of the way. Normally, if we're doing systems with 3 variables, you got to do a bunch of things. Like you got to look at all 3 of these equations and you got to figure out which 2 you want to eliminate a variable from, and then you got to eliminate it. And then you got to pick another 2 equations, you got to do it again. Then you work through those 2 and you find one answer. And then you substitute that back in and you find another answer, then you substitute it back in and you find another. Let me show you what one problem typically would look like. There's one problem. Okay? You can see where my hesitation came from, like, yeah, they're going to look at one of these and say, no, I'm out, I'm good, I'm done, I'm finished. So, we needed to find a better solution. No? Okay. We needed to find a better solution. So, here's the better solution. The better solution is going to be getting some help from our graphing calculator. So, the one thing that we are going to change right off the bat, even though we're not really going to need the page 17 because this help sheet is going to do everything. This is so slick. So, we're going to grab our handy dandy graphing calculator. We're going to turn it on, and if there's funky graphs sitting there, we're going to hit second in mode because we're going to quit and get the heck out of there. Okay, so how is this going to be so great? We're going to start right here. Everything we need is right here. So just stay with me. Second, x negative 1 right down here, right under the math. And this is going to show up, this craziness. These are called matrices. And so we're going to get here. And if somebody starts to get behind, tell me. We'll slow up, we'll pause, we'll do something. So right now we've done second, x negative 1, and we've arrowed over to edit. We're always going to be using matrix A. So we're just going to hit enter once we get to edit, and something will show up on your screen with a matrix. Yours may not be the same size as mine is right now. That's okay, because we're about to fix that. We need, and we're going to add this to what we have here. Your matrix needs to be, and I got to think this through for a minute. Okay. So up here where it says 1 by 1, or in yours it may say something different. Bless you. I'm going to type 3 in. I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to hit 4. And then I'm going to hit enter again. And it should expand into this big old matrix with a bunch of zeros in there that has 3 rows and 4 columns. So Hardy is in pause mode. Does everyone's matrix look like this so far? Even if it has numbers in it, I'm okay that it does, because we got to make sure that this is going okay. Yes, so we are. Yep, we're just in edit. Now we're ready. I think we just didn't go over far enough. Because, yeah, we just had to get all the way over to there. And then we should be good. 3 and 4. Right. Okay. Any other non-3 by 4s out there that we need to get set? Okay. So here comes our next job. Now, I'm going to move this a little bit because we need to be able to see our problem here. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to start typing in the numbers. We don't care about the variables right now. So I'm going to hit like 2 and hit enter. The calculator will keep moving me along in the matrix. And when I get to the end of a row, it'll take me to the next row. Remember, if there's no number in front of a variable, there is a 1 there. And so we're just typing in these numbers until we get, hopefully when we type in our last number, that's the end and it goes back to the beginning. If you get to the end and there's still a spot left, it just means we missed a number. So double check when you get to the end. If you hit numbers and it went back to the beginning, you probably have it right. But I always like to double check and make sure my signs are right, my numbers are right, and I have everything in the right spot. That is the hardest part of this whole ordeal that we're doing right now. So, this is the part, though, that I always forget, and I'm not going to this time. Before you can get the answer, you have to quit out. Once your matrix is full, hit second and mode. That will kick you out of the matrix. You're like, why do I want to be kicked out of the matrix? This seems dumb. It's just the way the calculator does it. And then I just start on the next step. So second, x negative 1, this is back. Arrow to math. Arrow down. Now this is where you got to be careful, and I'll get through the laughter here in a minute. You've got to make sure it's R ref, letter B, and not just ref. Those are two completely different functions that you're doing. If you do A instead of B, this will not work. So we get to B, and we hit enter. Okay, so now we got R ref on there. Last part. Second, x negative 1, and you're going to hit enter twice. Once now, it's going to use your matrix. And one more time, and you're like, what is this craziness? What in the daylights is going on? Okay, here's what in the daylights is going on. We're going to copy this matrix right below it here. And then I'm going to explain what this means. Uh-oh. All right, we'll get that recharging here in a minute. So here's what my final matrix should look like. Now that's great, but what does that say? So the first column is my x's. The second column is y. The third column is z. And the fourth column is equals. And so here's what these things are all saying. This says 1x, or x, equals negative 1. This column, since there's a 1 in the y column, says y equals 7. And this last row, since my 1 is in the z column, z equals 4. I'm done. No equations, no elimination, no substitution, no nothing. It's just plug it in and go. Hardy, would that work for the 2x3s we've been doing before? It would. Even though I'm going to ask you to show work on some of those, because those are smaller. So this lesson today is mainly going to be that we're making sure that we've got this stuff down. So I'm playing with several of these with you before I even think about launching you on your own here. So let's play this again. So can I get all that in here? Let's see. There we go. Okay. So we're going to go back. We're just going to start back at the beginning of the directions. Second, x negative 1. Arrow over to edit. And hit enter. Now the nice thing this time is it's already the right size. It's already 3x4. I'm still just going to type it in so I get into the matrix. So I'm just going to do 3 enter, same thing, 4 enter, which gets me to the start. As I type in numbers, they'll just replace the ones that are there. So 4, 1, because again, if we don't see a number in front of it, it's still there. Negative 3, 45. Next row, 6, negative 4, positive 3, positive 41. And finally, 2, negative 7, negative 11, 85, and we should go back to the beginning. So that's gotten us through these first two rows here of what we did. Our matrix is full. This is the point, then again, if you're full, you've got to quit for a moment. So again, the buttons are right next to each other. Second in mode, it clears you back out to here. Then we're ready to jump back into the matrix. So second, x negative 1. Arrow over to math. Arrow down to letter B, RF. Hit enter. Second, x negative 1. Enter to get the matrix, and enter to get the answer. So just like we did on the last one, I would ask that you write the matrix in, because just in case something goes bad, I don't know why it would, but if it does, so we get our x, y, z and equals. And again, I just jump back in. There's x equals 8. Y equals negative 2. And z equals negative 5. And we're off and running. So nothing real cute to have to mess with. So we'll just kind of put a in case we look later like, where'd that stuff come from? Oh yeah, you might even want to, before you leave today, maybe take this and like staple it in the upper corner of page 17 just so it's right there and you don't misplace it, so you can kind of see what's going on with that. Now there is one more thing I want to show you with this though. I don't want to just kind of leave you hanging, but I do want to leave you helping out with some stuff. So I got one last thing to play with. Hardy, no. No. Okay. Nothing bad. What the heck? We're supposed to do an application with this? What is wrong with you, man? So, here's the thing. 19 in the notes. 19. This is very similar to the application problems that we've done already, that I basically am giving you the equations, but you're going to have to put them down. So here's what we're going to do. So what do we have here? We got general admission. Okay, we'll call that G. We got senior citizen. I guess we're going to call that S. And we got child. We'll call them C. Now, you know what might be better? We've been talking X, Y, and Z, haven't we? Let's do that. Scratch, Hardy. Scratch that. X, Y, Z. That's just going to make life easier. So, okay. If that's true, let's figure this out. Mark bought 9 general admission, 9X, 2 senior citizen, 2Y, and 3 child tickets, 3Z, and paid $170. Sarah, oops, I forgot to do the 170. Sarah bought 5 general admission, 5X, 4 senior citizen, 4 Y Hardy, Y, and 7 child tickets, Z, and paid $173. Just follow the sentence right in order. Kyle bought 4 general admission, so 4X, 1 senior citizen, 1Y, and 6 child tickets, 6Z, and paid $116.50. There is our system to put into our matrix. That is the deal. We know the drill at this point. So let me make sure this actually fits. There we go. One more time. Second, x negative 1. Arrow over to edit. Hit enter. It's still a 3 by 4. We like this. Enter for 3. Enter for 4. Got to get to the matrix itself. Here's all my values, just like we've been doing. Follow it right across. 9, 2, 3, 170, 5, 4, 7, 173, 4, 1, 6, 116.50. Should go back to the beginning. If we're back to the beginning, we are ready to, well, we already entered the matrix. I shouldn't say end, we just did that. So we did all those. Now it is time, it's the one time we're allowed to be a quitter during this. Second mode, we're back out. Back in we go immediately. Because we are masters of the matrix. Arrow to math. Down to rough. There it goes. And enter. Second, x negative 1. Enter to get the matrix in. And enter for the answer. Boom. So what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? We got 10013.5, 01011.5, 0018.5. And again, what does that mean? We can actually get some labels in this time. Because this time, I'm like, all right, $13.50 represents the cost of a general admission ticket, because that's my X's. $11.50 is my senior ticket, and my Z is my child ticket. So that is how we're going to roll these. So here's our outlook for this next day or so. Hopefully I'm going to be glad that I did it this way. We're going to see. So on the systems with 3 variables here, I'm going to say I think you can actually handle all of these. I really do. But I'm going to do it this way. Let's just do this. Let's do 1 through 4. I get you 1 application. I won't go crazy with the applications and does the other 2. If you're a speed demon, because I know how fast some of you must be with your fingers at this point, with as much like texting and things you look like on your phones, you could start looking ahead towards the test preview at the end. It is chunky because we've done a lot of stuff in this unit. So you might want to take out the notes and start going back. You'll still get to use your notes on the test. So make sure your notes are complete if you've missed any, because this should be the end of our notes in the packet here. And start working on those. There will be videos up to help out with some of those things and a key. But helping yourself out by practicing is the best study part